Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Beneath the shelf in a grocery bag lay a spud that you've forgotten. It's now growing down there in the dark, just a plant and its will to survive. It's the eye of the tuber, it's the sprouts in the night, rising up with the hope that you'll plant it. And the poor little storage organ longs for the light, and you just need to have one good eye on the potato. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Potatoes. Florida's not necessarily where you think of as potato country. You would probably think of Idaho as being potato country, but you can grow some good potatoes here. Like this potato. Isn't that a beautiful potato? That's a blue potato, absolutely covered with eyes. I was planting potatoes with my young niece and nephew the other day, and they're both quite young, 3 and 1.5, 2. And I was trying to explain to them what it was that grew out of the potato. Now, if you don't know, a potato is an enlarged underground stem, and the little rootlets, each one of these little eyes here has the capability of growing a new potato plant. So this is like potato 101. So if you took this particular potato and cut it into multiple pieces, you could plant each one of these pieces and these guys would grow. Here's another potato. This is a more familiar russet potato. Here's the other side. It's already been cut in half. One thing I like to do with potatoes before I plant them, I was reading on the way the stem development and the growth of a potato works, and most of the vascular system of a potato runs from one side to the other like this. So in order to get the most growth and the most use of the tuber itself, if you can cut the tuber along here and make sure you get a piece of this and as much of this as you can, rather than just taking a little chunk off and planting it, apparently it increases your yields. We'll find out. That'll be a test for this year. As for getting seed, there's a lot of people that will tell you that you cannot plant potatoes from the store. This is not technically true. You can plant potatoes from the store, and if you tell them that you like to plant potatoes from the store, they'll then turn around and say, no, you can't, because they've been sprayed with sprout inhibitors and other things. And even if they do grow, they won't grow very well. Now, it's true, particularly with these russet potatoes, a lot of them you'll see that they barely make eyes. They've obviously been treated with something. Not the best thing to plant. You'll get one of these that sits on your shelf forever and barely grows. That's why if I am going to get potato and I don't have access to virus-free certified seed, etc., which is expensive stuff unless you're lucky enough to get a bunch of it in your local feed store or have access to it, or live in a potato growing area, I like to go to the organic stores like Whole Foods or whatever your local place is. We have an Earth Origins nearby, and those markets will carry organic potatoes. And my bet is that the organic potatoes have been sprayed with nothing. So I have gone multiple years, picked up potatoes from the organic market, and I will put them out on my windowsill a few weeks before I'm ready to plant them, and this gets the little buds starting to grow on them. They start to grow eyes. Then I chop them up and plant them. I let them sit. Some people don't, but I let them sit for a little while so they sort of dry up a little bit before I plant them, because I feel that if the tuber can heal a little bit, it's less likely to rot in the ground. Doesn't matter. I've seen people just chop them up and throw them in, and potatoes will still grow. If you do have regular potatoes from the store, a good way to check and see if they are not going to produce eyes for you, meaning that they've been sprayed with some sort of sprout inhibitor, is to just take the potatoes and put them aside, and the ones that grow eyes quickly and they grow nice looking eyes when they're in the sunlight, keep those, plant those. The ones that do not, throw them away or compost them. I don't throw them in the trash, I just throw them in the compost pile, and occasionally potatoes pop up on my compost pile, and then I can turn the compost pile over and eat potatoes, so there's not really any loss. But I don't like to throw them directly into the ground without making sure that they make eyes first, unless I know that the potato has not been sprayed with anything. Potatoes, I would say, are not the best crop necessarily for Florida. There's a big potato growing area a little ways north of me. They grow fine here, but there are crops that I believe are better for this state, such as cassava and the winged yam, and the very best one-season root crop here in Florida is the sweet potato, and that will just beat everything, plus you can eat the leaves on it. But that's for another day. So it's about potato planting season right now, so if you have your potatoes, plant them. If you don't, go have some. Go get some and plant them, and I'll catch you next time.